Hi, this is Tim O'Connell in the Department of Natural Resource Ecology and Management at Oklahoma State University. For the next couple minutes, I'm going to show you how to look at diversity in some community level data in a couple of different ways. Specifically, we're going to look at alpha, beta, and gamma diversity. These are diversity measures for which the abundance of species that you have is not really used. It's just what's the species list from your multiple sites. And here are the data I'm going to be working with. These are data that came from a study in eastern Oklahoma, surveys of 6 different sites in the Poto River watershed, and this was funded by a state wildlife grant. And these data are a distribution of freshwater mussel species, and at each one of the sites, the abundance of those species is represented. But again, we're not going to use that. We're just going to count up which species were where. And this is a really interesting way to compare among different sites to look at alpha, beta, and gamma diversity. And very often we don't have the benefit of abundance data for different sites. We might just have something like a species list. So I want to make sure that my students can figure out exactly something you could do, even if you just have a species list and don't have that abundance data. So let's get into it. Well, here we're taking a look at the species found in these 6 different sites. The number of species at each site is listed down here in this row where it says species richness. So if we look, for example, at site C, there are 5 species that were represented at that site. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then there were 8 at site D and 7 at site 3. And species list for a site, this is alpha diversity. This is species richness. If you look at all of the species among all of these sites, that's gamma diversity. And note that it's not just 5 plus 8 plus 7 plus 1 plus 11 plus 13. It's actually 16. It is because you don't want to double count species that might be found at multiple sites. It's just looking at the total number of species across all the sites. That's gamma diversity. The really interesting one to me is beta diversity, which gives us an idea of sort of which sites might be different from others, because it's counting up the number of unique species in a pairwise comparison, and only counting those species that are not shared. So to do that with these 6 sites, you make a little matrix, and we're going to compare first site 1 to site 2, and site 1 to site 3, and 4, and 5, and ultimately site 1 to site 6. And this works by just counting up the individuals that they don't share. So site 1 to site 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, not this one or this one, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the answer here is 9. Comparing those 2 sites together, there are 9 species found in one site or the other, but not both. If we do a comparison of site 1 to site 3, we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, not these, 6, 7, 8. And no more here, and no more in site 1. So there we go. There's 8 as our beta diversity for comparing site 1 to site 3. Site 1 to 4, 1. So that's not found in site 4, but found in site 1. 2, 3, not this one, 4, and no more. So the beta diversity for sites 1 to site 4 is 4 species. Site 1 to 5, don't count that first one, but we'll count this one. Okay, don't count this one. Do count this one. Don't count this one. Do count this one. Do count that one. And do count that one. And we end up with another 8. And here's site 1 to site 6. So we get 1, 2, 3, not there, but there, 4, not this one, 5, not this, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 10 as the beta diversity for site 1 to site 6. And looking down below, I've got all the data filled in for the entire matrix here. So if folks want to walk through that, you can double check. And just one last comparison. Let's double check site 6 to site 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that beta diversity score is 6.